Hi guys, it's Mathematics with Miss T. Alright guys, so we already spoke about discount, right? And when we have a discount, it means that we pay less money. Now, we're going to be talking about tax and GST. In Belize, we do not pay VAT, but we pay GST, okay? Now, tax and GST are normally added after the price is marked. All right, like for example, when you go to the store, the price that is on the item is not inclusive of tax. All right, when you go to the cashier, you see at the bottom of your receipt has a 12.5 GST. That is what is added to your subtotal, right? So let's do an example so you'd see more or less what I'm talking about, all right? When she was overseas, Tanya bought a bag for $18. She had to pay 8% GST. How much did the bag cost her? Let's write what we know. We know that the bag cost her, the price for the bag was $18, right? She had to pay 8% sales tax. So the sales tax, or GST as we call it, was 8%. All right? What we need to do, we need to find out how much is 8% of $18. All right? Now, when we are dealing with money, sometimes it is easier to change this percent into a decimal. All right? Since the money is already in decimals. Okay? So for us to change 8% into decimals, let me show you by fraction first, right? 8% is 8 over 100. To change it to decimal, how many zeros do we have here? We have 2 zeros, right? So what we need to do, we're going to move from here. We're going to go to the left 2 times. 1, 2. Alright? So, we could put our 0 at the front. So these are the same thing. 8% is the same as 8 over 100, and it's also the same as 0.08. Alright? So instead of saying 8 over 10 times $18, what we can do, we can just multiply this. 0.08 times 18. See, we have a decimal and zeros at the back, so we don't have to put 0.00. We just leave it as 18 since the decimal is already at the back, right? So 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 0, 0, and 6, 6. Now we're going to work with this number. I'm going to scratch this off so we don't get confused. We're now here. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 0, 0. Now we're going to add the numbers. 4, we're going to bring down that 4. 6 and 4 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 and 0, 1. And we have 2 decimal places here, so we're going to move 1, 2. So, 8% of $18 is $1.44. So 8% is equal to $1.44. Now, GST simply means that you're going to pay more now. This is going to be added to price. Okay? So now we're going to add the $18. Now we're going to need our zeros because we have a decimal that we're working with. $18 plus $1.44. Remember, number under numbers, decimals under decimals. So 0 and 4 is 4. 4 again. Put your decimal, don't forget that. 8 and 1 is 9. And 1, we're going to bring down this 1. So she ended up paying $19.44 for her bag. All right? So whatever you get for the percent of the GST, you're going to add it to the marked price for you to find the total. All right? So here is another example. We want to have 17.5% GST on $10. Okay? We want to find out how much GST we're paying and how much the total cost of an item that costs $10 would end up being. Alright? So now, remember when we see a number like this, when we're dealing with numbers, the easiest way to do it is change it into a decimal, right? Because we use decimal for money. Half as a decimal would be 0.5. So we're going to say 17.5%. Now, remember to change from percent to decimal, we divide by 100, which means that we move the decimal 2 spaces because 100 has 2 zeros. So 1, 2. So in decimals, it would be 0.175. All right? So we're going to multiply that by $10. But we don't need to put the 0.00 here when we're multiplying, right? Because that is only 10. So this is how we would multiply that. All right? So 0 times all of this would give us a 0. So we're going to put 0 here. Then we're going to move on here. We won't go 0 times 5, 0 times 7, 0 times 1. No, we're doing the shortcut. All we do is put a 0 here and we move on to the other number. 1 times 5 is 5. And when we do the second one, this is where we will write the 5. Okay? Under the 1. 1 times 7, 7. And 1 times 1, 1. And how many spaces we need? How many decimal spaces we have? 1. Look at it. 1, 2, 3. So we need to go 3 spaces here. 1, 2, 3. See? So we end up at 1.75. Alright? We don't add the zeros behind. If it's the last number behind a decimal, it has no value. So we won't add it. So our total GST would be $1.75. So for something that costs $10, you need to pay $1.75 GST. So you're going to add that now to your mark to the $10 to find out how much is the total that you will pay. All right? So let's add our $10. This is where you need the decimal now because this number has decimal in it, right? Remember, number under number, decimal under decimal. We're going to bring down the 5, bring down the 7 because we're adding. Bring down the decimal, bring down this 1, bring down this 1. So the total price would be $11.75. All right? So try to do the same with your assignment that you got. All right? And I'm pretty sure this will be very helpful. Okay?
Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe down below. That way you will not miss another video. See you in the next video.